And we live. We live.
We live, baby. Yeah. It's that deep
Deep theory.
Deep theory experience. You know what I'm saying? I'm here with my compadres. Yo, Sefrose, you want to hit him with that high note? No, not today. Not today.
Not today.
I tried. You know, here with my compadres as usual. To my far left, I got the R&B Canadian dollar sign.
Wow.
Saying,
Sefrose out here, man.
Clap for him.
And to my very, very left, we got Trip Dre in the building.
What's poppin'?
Yeah, the high
Dre
socks.
Dre Still, you know what I'm saying? That's the hashtag, fam.
Dre Swish.
Dre Still. And to my left, I got the beautiful
Dian.
E. You know what I'm saying?
Good diamond.
The blood diamond.
And then to the next to me, we got the beautiful sensational
Mandisa.
with the
Scully.
I won't say it out loud, but you know, it's a little funny beat cap. To my right, I got.
Jay North, man.
Okay.
Dude.
You're rocking the wrong hat, bro.
I don't give a
We're
fuck,
in the
nigga.
six. We are the champs, bro. We
I-
beat these niggas, bro.
I don't care. I'm wearing blue. I'm just trying to.
But dog, yeah, like, bro. Come on. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
well, big ups to them, yes, blessed, but like, I don't care, dog. Like,
And last but not least, we got
Yeah, introduce yourself, sir. Don't be shy.
AKA
Tell
Tello.
Tell them. Tell the
Yes.
girl that, man. Tell us. Oh, man.
I'm glad
But,
all y'all
I
can
I
make
just
it.
wanted to know how you guys' week was, you know? How's everybody's, stressful?
annoying.
I'm
It
not
was
gonna lie,
good.
it was long.
Yeah,
I just
man.
came back
It was
from
long.
vacation.
Same.
Oh, shoot, damn.
Yeah.
I was
Same.
waiting to
Yeah.
I was like,
Dang.
Yeah, it's
So
been
how
a
was it,
long
though? The
week.
vacation was nice? Staycation?
Where'd you go?
some of you guys.
She was gone to her bed.
Oh, okay.
It was a staycation, so I got a lot of rest,
Oui.
a lot of me time,
what's-
relaxation. Take care
Yeah,
of
new
yourself,
hairstyle.
that's okay.
Okay, new year. I see you.
I mean, it's gonna change stuff.
Goldilocks for now? Okay,
now.
well, for now? Okay. What about everybody else? Anyone else want to talk about their week? You know? I know, Sefrose, you did something amazing this week, you know?
Yeah, you know,
What did he do?
Grinding, you know. Just,
Yeah.
that's really it. You
You
know.
don't want to elaborate a little bit more on that, you know, with your video?
Well, actually, just I started filming a music video.
Yeah, that's what's up,
I
man.
seen
For
that.
one of my singles coming out.
I seen that.
Yeah, link in the description.
Yeah,
Hey,
you know, trying something. But that's really it, you know. Just really just try to come up with content. So
That's what's up, bro.
that's really that, you know.
That's big, man.
Get it.
Yeah, I can't wait for the premiere still. Yeah, it's going to be huge.
The
Real shit, real talk.
premiere.
So Jay North, when's that comedy thing happening, bro?
Yo,
I mean, it is
shout out.
January.
Yeah, well,
Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on blast, but you know.
but
We're all
I
excited.
don't really take you put it on blast because I'm like I said, yo,
I'm more on the
my boy Paul. Shout out to Paul B. Buggin. I'm waiting on him, so he told me maybe sometime in February or March. Sorry for the delay, but you know what? I look at it as more time to work and perfect my
That's true,
craft.
that's
You know
true.
what I mean?
That's
So,
what's up. That's true.
but I'll definitely keep y'all posted. You know?
Yeah, that's what's up, man. RB, do you want to elaborate on how
Excuse
the
me?
fashion thing's going? You know what I'm saying?
RB.
Yeah,
That-
RB.
okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Or Man Deep.
Oh, wow.
So, it's kind of been on hold.
Okay, cool.
Sachet has been on hold. I've kind of been, I've told myself that I'm going to dedicate this year to really figuring out what it is that I want to do. So there's some social media stuff that I'm kind of working on, trying to, you know, dip my foot in that kind of
We
pool and
appreciate what
see.
you've been doing for DTE too. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, so I'm just kind of experimenting. This is my year of experimentation. And then we'll see what happens with Sachet. Right now, it's just kind of at a standstill, though.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what's up. Dre Still, you got anything you want to elaborate on?
I'm just back in the gym, bro.
Yeah.
Man.
So you're trying to get that six pack, huh?
Yo, my core is burning me.
Bro.
I left the gym like 3 times this week.
Damn.
I'm trying to get my consistency back.
Yeah, that's big.
Honestly, if I'm at home, not doing anything, gym.
Good for you.
Just go. Spend an hour.
Do you do in home workouts or
Nah,
no?
I don't get like that drive to do it at home.
Oh, okay.
Once I go to the gym or I'm in the building,
Yeah.
I'm just constantly going.
Okay, cool. Yeah, man. Well, this week has been okay. You know, the cast is still off. You know what I'm saying? It's trying, you know what I'm saying?
That's
So,
big.
How's
you know,
life? How you walking?
so still an adjustment, but it's not bad, you know. But I still feel the soreness here and there,
Of course.
fatigue. You know, I just have to build the strength. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Take your time.
Yeah, man. And yo, we're at 200 views for the first episode, man. Like it's been crazy.
That's great.
Round of applause for
Yay.
DTE.
Thanks, man. Yo, shout out to D.Mac. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
What's poppin'?
So shout out to you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, thank you.
Saying it's growth 2020.
Seriously.
Yeah, real talk, man. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully, you know, you guys stay tuned, keep it locked with DTE. Thank you for listening to us, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully, you know, we bring something new to y'all, you know what I'm saying? So, but I guess we're going to dive into this real quick, you know what I'm saying?
Let's go.
Sure.
Yeah.
I got a
Ready for
bone
the
to
first
pick with you.
question?
I got a bone to pick with you.
Oh, well, you might as well just pick it now.
I mean,
you might as well just pick it now.
after that first episode,
All right, talk to me, girl.
what y'all mean you don't know no independent women?
Did I say that? Was that me?
I mean, I didn't hear none of y'all say, actually, I know
Yo,
some
we'll
real
go back
ones.
and roll the clip, eh?
Yikes.
We'll put it right back.
I
in the
didn't
audio.
hear none of y'all say, I know some real ones that don't fake it out here.
That was episode 1, right?
That was
Yes.
I
episode
wasn't
1.
there.
I went, what?
Yo, Dian, I
You're
plead
sitting
the
next to two.
I plead the fifth.
Ah,
I plead the fifth.
ah.
We do still.
I'm just
I
saying.
guess you know the alcohol was in our system. You know what I'm saying? We weren't really, you know, first
Yo,
episode.
stand up for what you believe in, bro. Don't blame it on the
I know.
alcohol.
You're right, JoJo.
Yeah, you had a lot to say too. Fire.
I'll say it again.
Damn. No, but honestly,
We were
honestly,
in too deep, dog.
when we were talking, we really want to just spark the conversation, and which it is. We know independent women. We know that you independent, you strong. You know you firm, and we know this one's firm too. You know, mom's firm too. His mom's firm too. So there's a lot of things we could have mentioned, you know, but we just wanted to talk about that. Still, you know. Yeah. You can let me slide.
Yeah.
You can let me
Yeah.
slide.
Yeah.
Come on, we've grown so much from the first one. You can't
Yeah,
hold
for
that
sure.
against us,
You know what
right?
I'm saying? Good save. Good save.
The past is the
man.
past, right?
I had to bring that up because I know there's a bunch of females out there that was like,
Yeah, they were gunning for
Bam.
me still.
Yep.
You can't even lie. But yo,
Take
we appreciate
those
it.
shots, bro.
Exactly. I want all the smoke. All the smoke screen, the smoke grenade, all of that. Me and Daryl are ready. You know what I'm saying? We want it all.
Oh,
still.
hell yeah.
Yeah. Real talk, still. Real talk.
Watch
No?
when these
You're not ready?
pull
Real
up on you
talk.
with a burner,
Real talk.
All the time.
All
No
the
sleep.
time, dog.
dead ass?
Yo, we're Trudeau, eh? No Justin.
No
eh?
Justin.
We're Trudeau still. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
What?
All right. Oh, you don't get it? You're not true?
I get it. Really?
But anyways,
No true religion.
we're gonna go to the first topic. Deanne wanted to talk about this. So the question is, do you feel black women are undesirable in the dating world?
Crickets.
Because the reason why I came up with this question, there was like a poll that said that they're the least desirable, which is crazy.
Black
it's like,
women?
yeah,
Even BuzzFeed has a video on
yeah,
that.
like it's actually
Like
it's
legitimately, like they had like 10 people lined up, and the black woman was like the least
the
picked.
least, yeah, which
Oh,
is
that's
crazy.
fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay.
Legitimately.
I just have to say something first. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't believe that because
don't believe
I
it
love
either.
black women. I
I
actually
love
don't care
them.
about any other kind of women.
Straight up.
But like, even if you look at like beauty standards, this in society, right?
Yeah.
They're not black women's for the most part. Like, honestly, they are their features and stuff, but they're
Yeah.
on other people, and that's kind of what gets admired and appreciated on the other people. So,
Right.
you know, I think society, I don't know, has a way of admiring them, but also like resenting them. And I do think, I honestly do think that black women are, at least for me, right? They're the most desirable. I
They
actually
are,
have no
they're-
desire to be with anybody. I don't even want to entertain,
Yeah.
you know, anybody else. Like, you
I've
know,
never seen you with no other.
you won't see me with any
Yeah,
other,
that's true
unless it's
stuff.
like, oh, it's nice doing business with you. That's it, you know?
I've been like in situations where I've, I guess, ventured out outside my own race.
Yeah, which there's nothing wrong with the venture.
No, there's nothing wrong.
But like, do you feel like they're undesirable in your own opinion?
No, of course not, bro. Like that's top tier to me. Like that's damn. It starts off with like my mom, bro. Like,
Exactly. Yep.
like, what more can I really say?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna diss. I would never diss a black woman in my life. I can't do it. That's just.
Why do you find that like it's a low rating?
I'm surprised to hear that.
Yo, I just don't feel like.
Like
I
to me,
don't feel like people understand. Like,
I think it's a lot of
what
ignorance.
what they can bring. You think it's a fear?
No, I think it's ignorance.
Ignorance. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
And just like a bad painted picture, I guess that they had, or like
But what picture was painted? Because
that's a good motherfucking question.
I don't see like a bad image being painted. Like I just know
I
that
don't either.
black women are strong. They hold their own, especially when they're in a tough situation. Like
Yes.
they still stay strong.
They taught that shit.
Yeah, so like I just don't see where a bad picture was painted at. Like, show me that picture,
Right.
I
and
wanna
I'll
know that
still
picture.
like I'll still fight.
I'll
that.
rearrange it.
Yeah, like
Some
I
whiteout.
think that's what kind of makes them undesirable to some people. They're strong.
Yeah.
They
A lot of
can
people
hold their
can't
own.
handle
That
that.
kind of thing. I think.
Bro,
Stand up for themselves.
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
nothing
stuff
wrong
like
with that.
that.
That's what you want in a woman. Because
Exactly.
at the end of the day, if there's a conflict and it doesn't involve me, I know that she can do her thing. You know what I'm saying? So
what a weak man can't handle. A
Exactly.
Strong woman.
Straight.
a what?
That's what it
A
comes
weak
down
man
to.
Can't handle a strong woman.
Well, some will put
think-
like some have tolerance though. Some weak men have some strong tolerance still, so they'll be like, yeah, I'll just sit here and just hold my corner. That's my.
But then
boo,
it's
you
also
know?
like the alpha male that thinks he's alpha but can't handle a strong
Yeah.
woman. You're not alpha.
I think it's
then.
the ego that.
You know what?
that
I'm
sparks.
sorry. I just want to interject, right? Because
do
like,
your
I think
thing.
we all have different ideas of what strong means, right? And I don't know. I talk to my sister sometimes, and she's 10 years my junior, and she identifies with being like, you know, a strong woman, but she's actually really rude too, you know. And it's like she doesn't. It's like, you know, she doesn't know when not to say certain things. It's like if I say something, I'm not trying to hurt her. I'm just trying to have a conversation with her. If I say something and it hurts her feelings, she's gonna try to get back at me. She's gonna say things to intentionally hurt me because that's how I made her feel, right? So, but in her eyes, she's like, I'm not. What does she say? I'm not rude. I'm just saying what's on my mind. Like, you know, so I think everybody has a different idea of what strong is, and I think, you know, I think there are a lot of people who are rude and they're outspoken and they say whatever they want, and people may not want to deal with them. I'm not saying that's how black women are, but I think everybody's like that. I think everybody has, you know,
everyone has their
has their
tendencies.
moments where they're you know, saying whatever they want to say, and but also this is I hear a lot of people talking about this, right? And they're like, what, you like black girls? Like, what? Oh, but they're so, you know, they're so this, they're so that. I don't even want to talk about what they say because I'm like, what the hell are you guys on? Like, first, like, you know, like, anyways.
You just want to know where they came up with that conclusion.
But, like, I understand where they would get that idea from, right? Like, if you think about, like, where most people get
Media?
their ideas
Yeah.
from,
Yeah.
Like, you know, even, I don't know, like, it's
But
everywhere.
where did the media get it though?
They've been painting
They-
this from
they-
time, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
They
I know-
pick
I
and
know they have
choose
some,
what they
but-
want
Yeah.
from whatever clips they see or whatever they see in the subway or whatever. You know, you'll see somebody who got disrespected and you'll see how loud that woman can get, and then they get the wrong idea.
Oh, that's what
A lot of people misinterpret.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. They, especially in media, they portray like black women like as, you know, like ghetto and ratchet and stuff like that. But the funny thing is all these fucking white girls and everybody
Can be
want to
just
have a
as
fat
ratchet.
ass and
Yeah.
big lips, and you know what I mean. And it's like, it's funny because in year 2000 and shit, like that wasn't even a fucking thing, and now all of a sudden it's such a big thing. And it's like, I feel like they feel it like that towards black women because they know deep down like black women are powerful. You know
But
what I
even
mean?
in movies, like, even if you're not watching a movie with an all-black cast, that one black actor that's on it is a specific image, and it's the same image in every
Every
single
time.
movie. And you're like, why is she playing that role?
Exactly. Or why did
have
she
y'all
have to
seen
die
Have
first?
y'all seen Get Out?
Yeah.
Like that was such a like good movie, and like the message behind it, it was crazy. Like it was just like
What did you get from it?
Just about to ask that.
no, because they said like in the movie when he's like, why are you doing this, and like with all the black people, it's like they're pretty much saying because you guys are the strong, like known to be strong and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's why they had those other black people that are staying there like held there, you know what I mean? So it was crazy, but it was a really good movie, and like it just like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
wake up call, you know.
What would you say is the biggest thing you took from the movie overall
I would
that
say-
you can resonate?
I
into
would
the
say
real world?
like them saying like, you know, black people are fast and all this stuff, and you know what I mean. So I haven't seen it in a while. Like I saw it a while ago, but like that's pretty much what I remember from the movie still. But it was crazy.
You know, go ahead.
They're taking away from like our strong characteristics.
Exactly.
Because obviously, like when it comes to like black people, what they really like look at is the fact that we're great athletes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we're strong at
That's
everything.
The biggest thing.
Yeah,
Like the NBA won't be a thing.
the NFL wouldn't be a thing.
NFL wouldn't be a thing, right? If they didn't have like the whole basically predominantly most of the league is African American,
Yep.
right? They're gonna we have our jumping ability obviously, but like bands want to push aside like our sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like we grow up obviously like listen to certain like artists. Like I grew up listening to like Tupac, Biggie, and all these guys, and just where their mindset was, especially Tupac. Tupac's my like all-time favorite artist. His mindset was so like advanced,
Like ahead of his time. Almost.
super ahead of his time,
Yeah.
and it was at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
Like you see someone who's outspoken like that, and do you want to shut him up?
All the
But
time.
if you want to play sports, yeah, go do that. Make good money, right?
But isn't that like, it's like a slave mentality in the same?
It is a slave mentality.
But see, that's the thing.
Modern
It's
day
changing the
slavery.
mindset. Because the one
Exactly.
thing that I wish is that black people, one, acknowledge how strong they are, and then knew that they were stronger together and not
Exactly.
against each
That's
other.
the biggest thing.
Like, everyone's going to be against you in terms of
Yeah.
different races, but if you guys aren't going against each other and going at bat, everyone can succeed. You
That's
guys
true.
can all be at the top.
Yeah.
But most people, you see, most of the black people, they're being teared down by their own kind. You're
yeah.
like,
What I find is crazy is that we're so like we can adapt to anything. You know what I'm saying? That's one of our biggest things, and I feel like we adapt to just being whether we're working or doing whatever this thing survival or whatever you want to call it. We look at the Asian people. We know how the Asian people roll. If we can't adapt to how they move as a whole, like we can do so much more. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's gotta be something that we do in the near future.
it's
for sure.
crazy to me, though, because I was talking to a coworker and we were talking about, like, other cultures or other ethnicities, like Jewish people.
Yeah.
Like, they went through a lot.
Yes, but they
But-
still.
How many do you know that are poor now?
Mm-hmm.
Or they made something of themselves.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, you
And they
never
have a
hear anything
community.
negative.
Because
They always have a community.
Yep.
But they supported their
Exactly.
own too. And that's what I feel like.
We lack.
Don't do.
Oh, we lack it heavy.
But it's sad though.
I hear that, but like the black community is huge, right? Like
It is huge.
You know what? They take people from the Caribbean, the States, Africa,
Africa,
South America, everywhere, and they say the black community.
Yeah. that's
But
true.
like, how many countries is that?
That's true.
And
It's
like,
a lot. It's a lot.
Even more to be united as
Yeah,
one.
we could be
Look
so.
how-
That's
like,
how
we're
powerful we are.
everywhere.
Yeah,
True.
That's,
No,
that's how
for real.
powerful
But
we
we are
are.
not united as one.
And it's sad.
but I feel like we've been conditioned to turn against each other.
But that's,
Oh, yeah,
for
you
sure.
know,
From
like
young,
separated.
from young.
Yeah, and,
From
like-
movies, from everything.
Like on like every level. Like,
Yeah.
you know, the old hating the young, men hating women. Like, you know, it's just like
Dark
they
in the
don't.
Skin
light.
color.
I saw a big
Exactly.
example of that.
They don't
at
color
Queen
that-
Slim.
that's
They
what
move
it's
against
up.
each other, right?
That's
And
what
like
it's
honestly,
up.
I'm gonna be so honest. That's why I don't talk about like light skin, dark skin, because
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't. You
Yo,
know,
when I see you, I see you, bro.
I
You're
don't
my
talk
bro.
about that.
Yeah,
You know, I don't.
exactly.
You know, some people say, oh well, he's American. Oh, he's African. Or something. I'm like, you know, we're all different, but like, you know, we have similarities, and
Yeah,
I think
bro, we go through the same.
I think when we start
things.
looking at each other as like brothers and sisters and like us working together, I think we will be on a different page,
For
and
sure.
I think it'll change our whole outlook as individuals, right?
Fam, I was watching a YouTube video, and this dark skinned guy, they were talking about like what they like in a woman or what they like, and the first thing that came out of his mind was like, I like a light skinned girl, and I was like, wow, you didn't even hesitate. No
He already
hesitation.
Has,
Like,
he already has his preference.
and like, no knock on you. Like, that's your type. That's your
Yeah.
type. But don't downgrade.
Yeah.
Don't say like, oh, that's all I like and that's all that matters. And I was like,
Yeah. His mind is closed.
first, and he was the like loudest of the bunch. First
Really?
one, very.
Yeah, but man's like him probably won't even end up finding what he's looking for.
Oh my goodness.
Yo, he might find what he's looking for, but it might not be what he wants.
No.
That's
He'll
how it-
settle for
you know what I'm
something.
saying?
He's going after that image.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally, he's going after that image that he sees on Instagram. Again, social media.
I mean, if you lead with sex and like just attraction, you're not gonna be happy.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there's more dynamic to people, not just women, men too. There's a dynamic to that.
Yeah, it goes big still. Yeah. All right. You guys don't want to elaborate on anything else?
I don't know, man.
Nah?
Like,
I mean, it is a subject we could talk about the entire session.
We can spend the entire session on it.
Yeah. So I guess we'll go to the next
I'm
topic.
pretty sure like we'll come back around to it.
Yeah, probably.
It's not going anywhere.
It'll make its way back into the
It
conversation.
came from like last episode. If you want to be totally honest.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very true. That when we were talking about,
Yeah.
I want to ask,
Shoot.
just piggybacking off of that, like if there was one small thought that we could change or plant in every human being to become more unified, be it black communities or whatever, what thought would you tell another person to tell another person?
Damn, yo. That's a
This deep theory, baby.
That's what we
Deep,
do,
bro.
man. You know
Jeez,
this,
bro.
son.
Honestly,
The one thing I would say, you are worthy.
Damn.
Leave it at that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Damn, Dian.
No, honestly, I there's nothing else to say about that. Still.
Honestly, like one thing. Okay, so just based off experience, it might not be the biggest deal, but I've had females, like black females, call me king.
Oh,
That's
I
big.
love that.
Bro, when I heard I didn't hear it. I read it, and that shit hit me.
I love
And I'm
that.
like, yo, you're calling me king right now? Like that's what you view me as? Like you guys get the
Different
same
level,
respect.
yeah.
Yeah. Like,
How did you feel?
I
you
felt
can hear it.
yo, I felt like
I want the elaboration though.
Yeah.
I felt like on top of the world, honestly. Like I felt like I was there with like my community. I was there with like a lot of black people. Like, yo,
And that does make you feel
we're
unified.
royal. Like we're here. Like we're strong.
So can I ask you a question?
Shoot.
Would you ever, instead of calling, and we have many of them here, one of your bros the N-word,
Ninjas.
Okay, so
call them king?
would I call my brothers kings? Yeah, we're all kings. We're all sitting here.
Royalties.
I don't call anybody like. I don't call any of my bros the N word. I can't say it like it's not natural off my tongue, right?
That's true.
Like the only time I probably would say it, and I really wouldn't say it, is when I hear it in music. My thing when it comes to music, like I can censor myself. Like I'm living with my niece, living with my younger sister. No one in my family hears me curse. I don't bring that in the house because I don't want that to be the thing in our household.
Yep.
Even if I was to live on my own and have my own family, I like 100% try my best to make sure that's not in our household. If you're gonna learn that, you're not learning that from home, and I can deal with my child after that. But
I wasn't raised like that, so to me, I literally blink every time someone like swears and like, true, that's normal vocabulary now.
yeah,
Cool.
Yeah. I'll bring in.
I'm sorry. I have something to say about that
I know
whole
you
king
do.
and queen thing, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that is like that's like a position that is like a respected position, and I think it's not like you don't just get it, like you earn it.
yeah.
know? Like so like I think you have to like conduct yourself in like a king or a queen in
That's
order
exactly
to be considered a king or a queen, right? Like I don't know. I don't call people king or queen, like
Yeah.
I call people my brothers and sisters. There are some people, and I can acknowledge that they move like royalty. Like you could tell that they don't see themselves as peasants and everybody else. Like they know that the esteem that they have for themselves is higher, and they carry carry themselves in that way. But that's what I wanted to say on that.
No, I hear you.
But I want everyone to feel like they're king and queen.
But what
and
if they
they're worth
don't
it.
like? But then it's like if you feel like you're a king or a queen, what's the point? Like, what do you have to work towards? What's higher than a king or a queen that you should now say, okay, you know what? I'm like, maybe if you're like, I'm a bum, and it's like, damn, I don't want to be a bum. Like,
Yeah, but you can also
No,
look at it
I
like
think it's holding that
is a
image.
way.
kind of uplifting.
maintain
right?
it.
Yeah.
you know what? You can.
Because that's how I use it.
I agree.
Like
with that.
I'm not like in any means like financially or above all. Like I'm not saying that 'cause that's not me. From the way I took it from my friend, she was basically just it's kind of like an uplifting thing. Like I felt uplifted, bro.
True.
I looked at the message and I read it over like 3 times.
I
I'm
believe
like,
that. Nobody said that to me, so like, you know.
I mean, it's kind of a subconscious thing.
No, but like, you know,
It sounds a little.
What were you
bit
saying?
still.
no, but
It's kind of a subconscious thing. Just imagine if I came up to you and I'd be like, "Yo, what's up, associate?"
Yeah,
Yo,
It's different than.
I have coworkers that get mad at me for doing that, yo.
See what I'm saying? It's a subliminal thing. If I
disrespect,
came
No,
up to
but
you and be
like,
like, "Yo, you're just my
No
DTE
respect.
associate," instead of saying, "Yo, you're my
well,
friend
if
or you're my
that's
brother."
what it is, then that's
right?
what it is, right? Like, you know, but like,
I don't know if I've taken a
I
man.
don't really know what to say to that, man.
No, but my thing
Yeah.
is, I get it because in my phone, I have like, let's say like, Jermaine. I know a couple Jermaines. I know.
Poor Kevin Hart, bro.
Anyways, I know a couple Jermaines. I know a Jermaine I used to work with at my one of my jobs, and I'll put like Jermaine, and then from MLSE, or Jermaine from.
What am I saying that?
Or you just
From
use
Nike.
their last name.
Nah.
Bennett.
Yeah, like
What am
Jermaine
I
L.
saying
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, what's
What am I saying
Jermaine
that?
saved us?
Don't worry about that.
Schmidget.
Don't worry about that.
It's Kevin Hart.
Short stuff.
It's Kevin Hart.
You guys dissing, dog.
Nah, but like, but yo, I have to go through my phone list again and like rearrange
I
some
think you know
stuff.
the answer
But,
still.
but honestly, like, if your
Everyone's
name's not
first and
like,
last name.
if everyone's name is spelled the same way, and that's like the one way I can like
Yeah.
Remember.
and like, so I don't. I've had a problem where like I messaged like the wrong Jermaine. I meant to message you, bro, and I messaged the wrong Jermaine. Jermaine's like, yo, what are you talking about? And I'd be like, nah, fam, wrong guy.
Error.
My bad.
That's crazy still.
But I hear you. Like, if someone was calling me an associate, yo, I'm not tolerating it.
You
So.
see, yeah, but that's a subconscious thing that just something tweaks in your mind. You're like, oh, now that's a dissociation now.
Yeah.
You're disengaging right now.
Yeah, and it's not like a unified thing. Whereas if I went up to Seth and I'm like, yo, King, yo, come with me. Let's do some editing. You feel more engaged. You feel more.
Or you can just call me by
involved.
my name, bro.
Yeah.
Like, make it personal.
Right? Yeah. Just use my name.
I hear you still, but I feel like that's a title that's like earned or something. Maybe you carry yourself or you speak or you have like values for yourself and you conduct yourself like a king, bro. You don't have to have all the money in the world, but you know that you're not a peasant and
Well,
you
I
carry
mean-
yourself as if you're a king. You know? You don't-
That's from what she's seen.
Do you think there's
But
a difference
exactly,
between
right? But
saying
there's a-
king and the king?
Say it again.
No, there's a difference for sure, right? Because
Yeah.
the is kind of like
the
one,
ultimate.
right?
Yeah.
But if you say just king, then it's like, okay, well, okay, great.
There's many
Yeah,
kings.
There's many kings.
Yeah, but like, okay, so then are we just gonna start naming each other? You're like, you're
Yeah,
the king of drug dealing.
yeah.
You're the king of pimping bitches.
Okay, but
like,
no,
you're
no.
the
king of
you're the
basketball.
like, you know, like what are we naming each other? Why are we calling each other this for? And like, what is it? And you could have your own reason, like, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, I just and I
You
honestly,
you haven't heard it yet.
honestly, yo, one of my Jamaican boys used to actually say, "Well, go out and king," and I would say, "Nothing much, man. How you doing?" Like, you know, like it was just, but he called everybody.
I'm
that, right?
sorry, but you haven't heard it from a female.
No. But I also honestly, I don't
feels
look
nice,
to hear.
bro.
I'm
Like,
not
I
gonna
don't-
lie.
I don't
if
look to
I'm
hear
calling
it
you
either.
King, I see you as a king. I'm not using that name loosely.
Okay, that's
I
cool.
have a king
But I
title,
honestly,
but
I
not-
you know, on like social media, like I hear a lot of people talk, like they call men, you guys aren't niggas, you guys are kings, and it's like, okay, king, and it's like you don't know this, but you're, and it's cool, like it's cool.
No, we get it.
It's cool, right?
Have you ever heard somebody call you niggas?
No,
I've heard
That's
that.
king too.
That's king.
But
too.
I've heard that around the time like
Negus. Sorry, my bad.
my bad. But I've heard that around the time like when Kendrick Lamar dropped to Pimp a Butterfly.
Yeah.
That album was heavy.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah.
Like
Classic right there.
yeah, like I think that was like definitely on like the list of like top albums of like the decade.
Yeah.
And that's where I first actually really like heard the word, and I kept on hearing it consistently.
Yeah.
The album to the point where I had to do like research.
Well, yo, side
then-
note there. If someone comes up to you and says like someone who's not supposed to be saying the N word, but they say, "Yo, my niggas," are you allowing that? Like
Nah,
knowing that niggas means like king.
Slap.
You allowing that one?
But see,
I didn't say that.
I don't know, man.
That's a
That's-
double standard right there, though. That's a good question.
yo, that is.
It is a
It
double
is.
standard.
Because
for
yo,
sure.
some white girl came up and said, "Wagwan king,
Yeah.
how you feeling today, king? Are you
But what
gonna
if she-
feel the same way about it?"
How do you
talk
know?
like that.
How do you know where they are from?
That's not
true.
do that.
Because White
there's a lot of
Yachty,
scum
White
white
Yachty
girls
is
that be talking
White
like
Yachty.
that.
Yeah, well,
Right?
I'm not communicating with them. yo.
Just say it.
You gotta carry yourself real properly.
But okay,
like,
but you guys use queen loosely too, though.
Yeah.
So
No, we
what's the
don't.
difference
Not
between-
me.
Okay. Let me not generalize, but a lot of guys use queen to a girl that they just met the other day. What's the difference?
That's true.
I
That's
know.
just as shallow.
I know some
Yo, but
guys
that's-
do it
that's
to
just a
get
way
into
to-
good graces with
Yeah.
women.
Yep.
Okay, but you know what? Honestly, I'm different. It's just like, what's your reason to call him a queen? What's your reason to call him a king? Like, you know, and yo, you can have a reason, and I'm not gonna say you
It's
shouldn't
wrong,
say
yeah.
it, but I think that there should be. I think you should be
kind of-
aware of why you're saying it, and
Yeah.
it shouldn't just be like, because a few years ago, and like before, like, you know, the woke movement got really big, and you know, everybody was just saying nigga. Everybody was just comfortable saying nigga, and wow, nigga.
I think
know.
you should use it in your next track still.
Honestly, I could still, but it's not even
Good
my
suggestion.
language. I don't talk like that.
Good
so,
suggestions.
you know,
But
but you know,
everyone to start.
that would be nice if I had
Trendsetter.
that big of an influence. But
Trendsetter.
you know,
Yo, it starts now.
Never
It's
doubt.
now. Yo,
Mm-hmm.
no, but anyways, I'm sorry. And you know what? I want to say this, like, you know, like if I have a lady in my life, then that'll be like my queen, right? But I also don't think I should be just calling, you know, just because you're a black woman, I don't think I should be calling you queen just because you're black, like, you know, and like, you know, and if you're a queen, then you. Man, you know what? There
You
should
show
be
it,
there
you
should be
show
a,
it,
there
yeah,
should be a
you show
king
it,
calling
yeah.
you queen. Like
Yeah.
it shouldn't be up to me.
100%.
And in the same way, I wouldn't expect that from some random. You know, if my lady wants to call me a king, okay, I'm cool with that. But like, you know, imagine if my lady's not calling me king, and then some random girl is calling me king. That's the trouble at home.
Actually, not calling you
it's all
king,
about
that's
the
what you should be
intent.
asking.
It's all
That's a
about the
sleep on
intent,
the
where it
couch
comes
thing.
from.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
I ain't even do nothing.
But you know what? I'm sorry. I just got to say this because like I like the fact that we're using those uplifting names and words, right? Like I do.
Yeah.
I really do. And at the fact that like we're valuing each other and we can even put that up there. But I also think that there should be a reason why we're using it instead of it just
That's the
being
reason,
like
though.
the fad or the you know, like the
True.
what's the word I'm looking for? The
Loosely.
trend.
But that's the reason though, right?
I think, yeah, like this is the time and this is the year to start uplifting others. And
And feeling the
and-
value.
yeah,
We need it right now.
we need to know our worth.
Mhm.
I'm not just talking about black people in general. Like everyone deserves to know their worth. Just
Yo, what?
Mm.
Where did
I
that
heard
come
that.
from?
It was here the whole time.
Oh.
All right, I'm gonna hop to the next topic. So, next question is, how long did it take you to feel comfortable sharing all of your insecurities with your partner?
never
I'm not even
happened.
there yet.
That never happened.
I'm not even there yet.
Really one that can answer?
I guess yeah. Shoot on it if you will. Still.
I would say a year.
What?
Yeah, a year.
It took you a whole year.
Yeah.
All
Is
of
it
All of
because
my-
you were long
pretty mu-
distance?
Are you?
Well, pardon, sorry?
Is it because of the long distance?
No, it's just I had to feel that like, okay, this is gonna be long term, and I can
to
share
come to it.
that stuff. Because
Yeah.
I feel like if you don't, there's a kind of disconnect because you're not being 100% vulnerable with that person. And yeah, like about a year.
How would you guys feel if it took a year for, and I'm obviously asking the guys,
The guys, yeah.
a year
course,
for
yeah.
your girl to tell you everything, I guess.
I'm mad still.
That
You're
depends on
mad?
how
Have to wait a whole
serious I
year?
am.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like there's a part of me that's still, that she just can't.
No.
Open up.
Yeah.
And she's been
Like there's something
quote,
about
unquote,
me that she can't
damaged
open
a couple
up.
times.
I mean, but then why are you entering the
that's it.
relationship?
Are we like officially together? Or, like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Like
a
really,
relationship.
like
Everybody's
my boyfriend,
definition is
a
different.
year.
I don't know.
So to further explain,
Yeah.
so like there's things that I've experienced in life that I don't necessarily share with everybody, like very personal
True,
things.
true.
So, and for me to be able to express this specific thing with my partner, I had to know, like, if I felt like we weren't serious, why even waste my time being vulnerable with you about that? Like, something that's super personal and super, like, touchy, right? So, yeah, and that specific thing, it took me a little longer than a year, probably like a year and a half. But, like, everything else
It's a long
has
time.
been there. It's not even, like, a secretive thing. It's just, like, I need to get in the right headspace in order to have this conversation with you because it's just that big.
So
I
it's not about
respect
the
that.
person. It's really about your
It's about
comfort
me.
about-
It's about me.
Definitely.
Isn't
Yeah.
that kind of selfish though, in a sense?
You need to have a part of yourself.
For sure, but
was
It's
just
not
like-
selfish.
I mean, flip it. How
Ish.
long would it take you if you had something that was?
I'm sharing it like right open.
Yeah, that's a
You know
random.
what I'm
Off the bat?
I
I
don't
feel
know
like
about that.
Yeah, but I feel like I just
I don't
feel
know
like
about
at the
that.
end of the day, like you learn so much about that person within like a span from a day to 3 months, you
Yeah.
know, to really
Who
know
are
if you're
you
gonna.
lying to?
No. Well, it's
Wait,
all,
can
it's
I?
all
Can
personal.
I? So you're gonna like whatever your deepest dark secrets, whatever. You're gonna tell her that right away.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like.
But what happens if that
Your
doesn't?
deepest, darkest?
But what
I-
happens if she
Maybe
turns
not
out
all
not
of
to
them. I'm not
be?
gonna show all of them.
What
But
happens
all
if-
my insecurities? I'm gonna show her for sure, right up in the game.
But
'Cause
what?
I'm open with myself.
Day
But what
one?
happens? Hang on,
Yeah,
hang
that's
on.
what I'm wa-
What happens if she turns out not to be the one? So let's say it's like your,
That's fine.
let's say your second date,
Secrets.
and you right.
But yeah,
Your
but that's-
second date, and
yeah.
you're like, okay, like I see this going somewhere. Let me just tell her all this stuff. Let me unload all this stuff on her.
Yeah.
And
At least,
let's
like-
say a couple months down the road it doesn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go on to the next person. You're gonna do the same thing, and then the
No,
next
you-
person,
you
and the next
you
person.
obviously got to look at it as like if I'm showing this and it's a repetitive outcome, then I obviously know it's me. So I gotta just change that and be like, okay, maybe I not show them too much, kind of wait it out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a trial and error. So like I'm not gonna know if it actually means something for her for me opening up the gate right away. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. She might just the vibe might be right where we just had that conversation where like she could just share that with me too. You know, it all even the setting, right? Like we could be chilling at the bar, drinking, and it just might just come out. You know what I mean? So
Fam,
Yeah.
what are you sharing?
Me?
Like no, like what are you what are you sharing? Like
and the question was
no, I know I get the
oh,
question, but like
oh.
what are you sharing to her?
I don't like spiders.
Yeah, like that's
Yeah.
like
That's a.
I'm not gonna share. I'm not sharing my phobia.
insecurity.
You don't have to share that, right? But that's you though. Like for me, I'm just gonna share. I'm gonna share everything. You know what I mean? Like what I feel like is necessary to be open for this discussion, right? So whether it's my past relationship or you know if I had a death in the family or just stuff like
That's
that.
true.
You know what I'm saying?
Right from jump. So that means like
Exactly.
day 2, you're not even
Because
surprised.
at the end of the day, some people just can't deal with all that. They might feel like, that's too much.
Exactly.
So I feel like it's just better to get it out the way. And I'll know at the end of the day if this person, you know. But again, that's just me though.
I feel like increments, you know, just test them with one thing that's like, you know, a little bit shocking, and then
Every
you know-
6 months, drop something new.
Yeah.
no. Every couple of days, drop something different.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, yo, let's just say you don't open up at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Like you guys said a year for you, right? Let's just say in that year, he shares all his insecurities with you, and it now he feels very comfortable where his whole action just changes, and it doesn't sit well with you. What are you gonna do then?
What do you mean his action
Like he
changes?
just changes his action, like things he was doing in that year that kept you there for a year, just changes because now he's very
fully-
comfortable.
yeah.
He's very vulnerable.
I don't know.
So now a year just went by, and they're like, "Damn."
Well,
I
for
wish I would have done
me,
that before.
What
for me, I'd
what-
be like, I didn't share my insecurities. So I mean,
No, I'm just saying, like as an example, if he was
Okay.
to share it with you, what would like how would
Can you
feel?
elaborate on
Fine.
what that might be? Because
Yeah,
I'm not
like,
sure
I-
like what
like
he would
okay,
change.
so like okay, she said for a year
for me,
for
yeah.
you,
Mhm.
you showed him after a year,
Mhm.
and let's just say for that whole year you guys were just fine, like you know your honeymoon stage, blah blah blah
Oh,
blah
I
blah.
see.
And let's just say now that you're very comfortable because you shared that with him, and your whole thing just changes. Like you're now like, okay, like now I can do this, I can do that, and he's just like, I wasn't liking this a year ago or like throughout the whole year. So who's this person that I'm talking to?
Mm.
I mean, depending on what your secret is, it technically shouldn't change you or
Shouldn't.
their
It shouldn't.
Right.
view
But first-
of you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But some, again, you never
Spot.
know. You know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just want to say this.
Yeah.
So I'm actually a pretty guarded person. Like
Mhm.
that's just how I don't.
Oh, really?
I don't. I don't trust anybody
know
100%. And it's not to say that anybody's given me reason to, but I just know that people are capable of some
Of
crazy
anything.
things.
It's
Yes,
true.
it's
So
true.
I don't.
Yeah.
It'll take a long time before somebody gets and me to openly just volunteer to express myself. If you ask me a
100%.
question,
Mhm.
that's like a different. If we're having a conversation and you ask me a
Exactly.
question, that's like a
Yeah.
different story. But there are so many questions that people don't ask me,
Mhm.
right? And so it's like you said, a year. And I'm like, man,
Yeah.
that's a short time. I've been in this relationship for a very long time, and I'm still figuring things out, and she's still figuring things out about me. And it's like, well, why are you like this? I was like, oh man, well, when I was 17, I was riding a pocket bike and I scratched my leg, so now I'm afraid to ride motorcycles. I'm not gonna tell her that like off the bat. Yeah, you know, when I was 17, this shit happened, and you know, like you know. But if she asks me a question,
That's a good
and
point.
the time and place is right,
Yeah.
then I will express that to her. But
Yeah.
and there's a lot of things that she still has to know, things that happened maybe I don't know a year
Or
or two
why-
ago that I you know
or
I'm not just telling people because it's like
Exactly.
you know
The
time and
real reason why
place
you're guarded.
and- Pardon me?
Like basically the real reason why you're guarded. Like, you know, over time she will understand.
Yeah, but the real reason I'm guarded is just because you can't 100% trust anybody out here. You know, you never know what people are capable of. But I love everybody, and you know, that is it, man.
Got you.
When I'm with you on that. Like, I'm really guarded as well. Like, I don't have a problem opening up, but
Yeah. But you
I
want
don't
to
speak-
initiate.
yeah, I don't speak to just for the sake of speaking.
Yeah.
Like, you have to ask
Same.
me the right questions. Like, if you want to know,
Yeah.
that's what I'm
like,
saying.
if you really want to know
if you're-
something,
if you're gonna ask the
you have
question.
to be direct with the question that you're asking. And I'm not gonna like tell you more than you asked.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Smart man.
Like, if you want to know
Give
about
a
my
little-
past, you gotta ask me like, yo, like what happened like
Yeah.
this date? What happened to you with this girl? How did that date go? Like, go deeper with your question. Right? If you want to know more,
Gotta ask.
yeah, you have to
That's
ask.
opening doors.
Yeah. Communication is
I'm
definitely.
not a big
key.
talker, yo.
Neither man.
Yo, what?
That's big though, still. Like, you know.
Got another question for you guys. It's a little bit harsh, but hope you guys can think of an
That's
answer.
spicy.
What part of your culture are you least proud of? It could be your African or Caribbean culture, or it could be Canadian culture. What are you least proud of?
I like the way you said it there, sir. No, just joking. That's a big
Yo,
question.
Dan, please speak.
Yes, please.
She wants to speak, so I'm gonna let her have the floor still, you know?
She's just about to
Just
bust
like,
out like the
like,
Kool-Aid man.
bro.
Oh yeah, I got something.
I was like trying so hard.
Oh boy.
Woo, this
The
is spice.
fact, okay, I'm Nigerian, and the fact that Nigerian men in certain cultures can marry multiple wives drives me insane.
Man seem to be Nigerian.
I'm not gonna lie. After listening to your first episode, that
Okay.
triggered me. I was like,
Okay,
bro.
okay, hold on. Okay. So you basically have something against the whole polygamy thing.
I can't stand it.
Do you? Okay, so where do you feel like it stems from? Like, where do you feel like it started?
It's my life.
No, but I'm saying, where do you feel like it started? Do you feel like it's always been there for all men? Like, do you feel like polygamy's been there even before slavery?
I can't answer that because I was.
We've had examples. You sent me a video
Yeah, I did send you a
just the
video.
other day.
Oh, JoJo sent me that video actually too.
Oh yes. Seth
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
That's why I was asking the
yeah.
question.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Let me flip the script here. Let me flip the
I
script,
was trying
okay?
to flip the script still. You know?
Okay.
Man.
You find a woman that you're head over heels.
Yeah, girl.
She is the woman.
Ah.
Your
Yes.
queen, should I say?
My queen.
He's
My
not there
delicate
yet.
flower.
You gotta catch
My
up.
cinnamon apple.
And she tells you, you know what? I love you, but I also love this man and this man.
Yo, that's
this
crazy.
How
But why
you
is
taking
it crazy for
Well,
me?
for me,
like
I'm
the
a
double
monogamy
standard.
guy, so I'm
I
gonna
don't
take
care.
it. I'm gonna take it away. But I'm just saying, for a lot of men, it's been passed down from time. So a lot of guys just, they can love different women.
Yeah, we're in a new
But
time.
women can
Women
love
can
them.
do it too.
Exactly. So I'm not saying you guys can't, but I'm just saying.
I want to
you
ask
know?
this: what exactly are you trying to build or accomplish by doing that?
I can't stand it, so I'm not trying to do
No,
it.
no, but like, okay, like like if it's like one man, multiple women versus one woman, multiple men. You guys aren't building the same thing, are you? Unless maybe you guys are trying to build the same thing, right?
No,
I guess that's a conversation.
No, deadass.
That us. Oh, diet. Ooh,
Like,
D.
Like, I'm not with it. It's not my thing. I don't need multiple women, but
It's too expensive, no man.
It's a lot of energy.
It's a lot.
too.
A lot of energy.
It's a lot of it's a lot of emotions.
Yes, a lot of.
What about those situations where it's like both sides are open? It's like, okay, I want to be with multiple women and you want to be with multiple men.
It is trouble.
Like-
It's hard. It's hard.
The thing is, a lot of the women though, even though they're saying that they can, they can love multiple men now because times have changed, they're not. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna happen.
The dynamic is really low.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
And they're more like sensitive when it's brought up.
It's that sense of ownership.
I just don't understand like the whole multiple part. Like I don't get.
I
It's
feel you.
enough work alone to just grow and
With
learn with
for
one
sh-
person,
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
and then I got to do that 3 other times.
But is he really trying to grow and build with all the other women?
I don't know.
Yes.
It's
I
no,
don't
you
think
can't.
so.
You physically cannot.
I can see
You-
that.
No, you can.
You
You
cannot.
think it's possible?
Yo, you know what? Yo,
Yeah.
but it's like
In,
I
like-
want to hear
It's
Mandy.
possible,
She says
KG.
you can.
In like
I want to hear that.
monogamous, so like
Okay.
if you take like I'm gonna use TV, a show like Sister Wives.
Yeah.
I like that
He's
show.
building with each, I'll say household because they kind of all live in separate houses.
Oh, okay.
He's building with each household, and he's very much involved in each household. Oh, sorry. But yeah, so it's not like he's just trying to fuck like multiple people and that's it. Like he has multiple kids with each woman
it's
in each.
deeper.
Yeah.
That man has
So-
energy.
So
Yes,
okay,
yes.
okay. I'm gonna contest that.
Do that.
Is he really growing with them as a whole person? Or is he just taking little bits and pieces of what he needs from that individual and growing that one aspect?
I don't.
Yeah.
Only he can answer that. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he's growing with
He's
all of
growing.
them
I
feel like,
individually
Yes.
and then as a
kids.
whole, right? Because
Yeah.
all
He
the
has-
women have relationships with each other too.
Exactly.
All of
So
them accepted.
It's
Yeah.
one big.
They're
System.
a family.
They all embrace
like,
each other.
Sister
Yeah.
wives.
Sister wives.
Yes, they're sister wives.
Hashtag.
Yeah.
Oh,
know what
that's
I'm saying?
nasty, man.
It is like
It's wild.
questionable. Like, why would you want to do all that? Like, I personally think it's weird and gross
Can I-
to have like he has like 20 something children. Like, why?
Very Can
I-
And they're like
can I-
siblings but cousins and like it's just too much.
I
Can I
think the
ask you a
spiritual.
question?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
man.
sorry,
Go ahead,
sorry.
my boy.
Go
ahead, my boy.
Let's just say one of these males in this room was in a polygamy relationship.
Nah,
How would
The
how would
flames
you
ignited
how would
again,
you
huh?
how would you approach them with
Yeah, how would you approach
your
me?
discomfort
I wouldn't.
about?
Firstly, their relationship is not my business.
Thank
Well,
you.
but we all
Facts.
family, so like
Okay.
So
saying?
if you were in a relationship and you had multiple girlfriends, like people that you were trying
Yeah.
to take serious and whatever, cool. Like I'll do my best to be friends with all your girlfriends, but I'm not gonna weigh in on your
okay, man.
relationship.
Wait, do all the girlfriends know?
yeah.
I cannot
Yeah,
let
yeah,
them
yeah,
dead
yeah,
ass
yeah,
in their
yeah,
Right?
face. and
Yes,
be
that's a
like,
good point.
That's true. They know.
They know.
Okay.
Everybody's cool.
Would I still get
Well,
judgment
girlfriend
from
number
you?
2?
I can't judge you. Only God can do that. I can't judge you.
I like that answer. I like that answer, but see,
That's,
this one's
that's
pondering.
Yeah. No, I am pondering.
Yeah.
Deep waters.
Theory.
I, honestly,
This is
I
really
don't
becoming a
know.
thing, man.
I don't know, to be
Oh.
honest.
Damn.
I don't know.
I like your honesty though. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I might have a conversation with you about
For
it
sure,
to
for
like
sure.
understand like
What do you
why.
like?
I see
Where
you
does it
doing
logic?
that.
But I wouldn't. But I wouldn't be like, you shouldn't do this. Like I'd be like, okay, that's you. But I'm the type of person that if someone has an opposing opinion,
You try
I
to argue
question
it.
like a lot. It kind of gets read as me being like difficult or like things like that. But it's really that I'm just trying to understand something. Like, yeah. So I think it would just be a multiple, like, we would have multiple conversations about it. Like, it'll be random questions all the time.
All right. That's
All
what's up.
I'm saying is I never want to be in that situation.
Yeah, I
I
wouldn't
feel
be
you.
in it.
All
I
right,
wouldn't
cool.
be in it either.
I don't think we are.
It's-
None of us is dating that much people still. So.
Just one girl.
I mean, I've
Just one.
What?
Yes,
Right.
Miss
Smells
Lizzo.
over like on the low.
Whoa!
Yo,
On the
Joe.
low.
What did you
Dre
No,
still.
Rewind.
I wasn't in relationships with anybody, but like I was
Don't
Is it
you
because you
hide
tripped
it
them?
now.
I was unintentionally
unintentionally
juggling like
juggling.
2-3 women.
So that was like
But were you in a
polygamorous.
relationship with them?
Pardon?
Were you in a relationship? with
No,
each of
was
them.
just dating.
I wasn't
Okay,
in a- I
that's
wasn't in a
okay.
relationship.
Okay.
That's okay.
I was just dating.
Yeah, that's different. That's different.
That's yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's
So
different.
wait. I'm sorry. Are you say what you needed to say? I want to ask a question, guys.
Nah, shoot.
So is it okay to date multiple people, but is it not okay to be with multiple people?
So
I wouldn't want to date multiple people.
Dum
a
dum
great
dum.
question.
yeah,
That's
I
actually a really
wouldn't
good
want
question.
to.
it's a good question for sure.
I wouldn't want to.
I personally can't. Like, I have to focus on one person
Yeah.
and see where that goes.
I think it shows integrity.
Okay, but what about the
To that
people
person.
who do date multiple people? Because I'm pretty sure we all know of a lot of people.
Yeah.
Even if it's like on these websites, right, or these like apps where they're looking for somebody and
Mm-hmm.
they're looking for somebody. So they're entertaining one person, they're also entertaining 5 other people because they're looking for something and they're
They're
What
trying to
are
find
they
that spark.
doing? Okay, so what do you considering dating? Like, are they just going on a couple dates, getting to know each other, or are they taking it even further and getting intimate?
they could be getting intimate, but like let's just say even something as soft as like kissing.
I don't.
Is it soft to you, but not soft
I
to
don't
her?
think there's anything wrong with it. Only because for people that are serious about dating, that go on Tinder, they're going on there to meet as many people as possible because they just,
Casually.
let's say their day-to-day life just doesn't allow them to interact with enough people. Like it's home, work, gym maybe, and back home. So on Tinder, let's say if I was talking to 4 people,
So you catch them on.
I might date them. I don't know if I'd kiss anybody or anything like that. But like, if I'm serious about trying to find a partner, I'm gonna try and get to know as many people as possible, and then kind of narrow it down from there, and then decide who I want to become more serious with. Yeah.
If
I just
I'm
wanted to hear an answer because like
Okay.
I know a lot of people who like who frown at the whole like polygamy thing,
Yeah.
but like they're also like, and it's a lot of time it's like women, but they're cool with talking to multiple guys and getting what they want from multiple guys,
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are women
So-
like
A lot.
that. For
Right.
I
sure.
already have a job.
A
That's
lot.
a lot of work.
Preach, girl. Preach.
That's a job in
Talk that
itself.
shit.
But like
Talk that shit.
everybody
Talk that
has
shit.
their preferences, and sometimes people would sacrifice, maybe their money or I don't even want to say their values or morals, but they're looking for attention and they'll get that attention anywhere they
Anywhere
can.
you can. Yep.
Yeah, I know people like that for sure. Females.
Jeez.
All right.
No.
Well, we go wrap this
gonna
up.
wrap
The
this
first session, set in stone.
Already?
Yeah,
That was the
man.
first
Appreciate you guys coming out. What do you have to say already for? Like,
I mean, it was a good conversation.
Yeah.
It was,
I mean, if
no,
our
I mean,
guests want more,
yeah,
our viewers
we
want
got
more.
part 2 coming up. Y'all give me like a little intermission. Damn.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just saying shit. But thank you guys for coming out. Honestly, I appreciate you guys. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Love y'all. You know what I'm saying?
There you
And we
go.
out.
Thank you.
Oh, God damn.